Hello and welcome. This is Alchemistexe, and this is a highly anticipated episode of Weekly Update because we have the Also Sprock event for Zehn's Job Plus. This week we have a new unit, 2 new mementos, and 2 job pluses, one of which is a super grindy protagonist one, and then the other one is a more standard job plus for Zehn. I've been very, very much excited for this event. The Also Sprock is one of the few times where I'm like, just, in it to win it for the storyline. And that doesn't happen very often. A lot of the stories are kind of like meh, or they're all right, but I kind of like read it real quick and, maybe have a chuckle or two or something. But you couldn't say I was like super invested in it. But this is the one set of stories that I'm super invested in. And just as an aside, I think that whoever's in charge of writing these stories, I hope they are properly rewarded for their efforts, because they definitely, at least in my opinion, shine a bit more than, whoever's doing main storyline or whoever did Sacred Stones, that kind of thing, even though it's tied to Sacred Stones. But there's something about the pacing of these kind of short-ish stories where they have to be a little bit more dense. I like that a lot more. It's like the exact opposite of the main story, where it's like, hey, let's say 2 sentences, do a battle that maybe has nothing to do with what we were talking about, and then go back, do another cutscene that probably has some redundancy with the previous cutscene, and then lead to another battle. It's just, it's even when like the core content is interesting, it's just such bad pacing. And also Sprock is the opposite of that. So that's my plug for the story mode. I know I'm not really like focused on lore. I'm focused on like, what you can do and how you might manage your resources. But I am kind of a nerd at least when it comes to Templars. So yeah, with that little intro out of the way, and with the Orion boss now dead, let's get into more detail about the event, and we are going to start with the Also Sprock. Okay, so here in the special quest, we will find the new event, as well as a rerun of a few others: Siba's Job Plus, Fury's Job Plus, and Nguyen's Job Plus. All great. If you do not have them, I would take the time to get them as well, even if you don't have the units ready yet, just because they are all very good and very strong. The format is going to be the same as the previous ones. Do the quests, get the tickets, fight the bosses, get the coins, use the coins, get prizes. That hasn't changed. One thing I did want to point out, though, as far as the lineups go, in order to unlock Zehn's Job Plus, you want to get the tokens from this first step. It's very easy to do. Just getting milestones will fill you up with coins, and you can get the, like, about 300 that you need pretty easily. But you're not going to find the equipment pieces here. Those are going to be tied up in the milestones. And there's something important to note here in that, let's see if we can find it. There it is. My funeral, my trial. So amazingly edgy. So you can't actually unlock Zehn's Job Plus yet today, because some of it is dependent on clearing the hard quests, and you can only do those 3 times a day, and you need to do them 5 to get some of these pieces. So yeah, that is kind of a bummer. I wanted it like right away, but I'll get it tomorrow. So if you were in a hurry for Zehn, then definitely get it done today. And then you can do yourself a favor tomorrow as well. And so yeah, that's all I really have to say about this event. But I think everybody should do it. If you don't have Zehn, do it anyway. Get the stuff that you need. And then when you get him, he's an excellent choice for a selector. If you're, maybe you might want to prioritize Ziba and Nguyen first. But if you need a good solid water unit, though, we just got a good solid free-to-play friendly water unit in Yaris. But, more the merrier. Especially with all the really good, slash comps that exist. But this event is not the only one that is going on. It's the most major for sure. But there is also a special event, or not event, it's just a quest for protagonist units. It just gives you a title. I'm not making it a priority yet because I'm doing other stuff, but that's kind of fun. If you've done all the crazy grinding for as many of the protagonists that have their 3rd jobs, this would be a good way to celebrate that. The quiz is still going, and it was today. If it was the alms one, for the answer. Maybe not everyone is going to have the limited VCR for Oct that it's referring to. But yeah, database is always good. As long as it's asking you a mechanical question and not a lore-based question, then you can find it in the database. And then other than that, that is about it for the events. Oh, consecrated elements, do those once a day. I forget to mention that sometimes. But yeah, that is it for the content. So next up, we're going to take a look at the banners. And here we are. Oh, I totally forgot to say something about Dios's third job, so I'm going to do that while we summon for this free coin thing. You know, everybody do free things. Shouldn't need to say that. But everything that you need to know is going to be in the training tab under the milestones. They're all very specific. There's a lot of them. It's going to be very grindy, so mostly just do it at your own pace. The one time-sensitive thing that I would watch out for, well, there's actually two, but the most important one is like the Challenger of Limits quest. When that reruns, make sure to do it and make sure to grab the whatever milestones you're missing from it in the map, because they tend to give out these job 3 materials in those. They're not very hard quests, and you know, I'm not sure if they ever were, but they're definitely not now. And then the other kind of time-sensitive thing is the Tower of Veda. If you're, you know, gem conscious and you don't want to spend gems on the reset, make sure you do the tower once a month so you get enough coins to buy the pieces from the shop. But that's less time-intensive than the Challenger of Limits thing, because that doesn't come back very often. But yeah, otherwise it's all in the description for the milestones. It's kind of a pain. I'm still working on Logies myself, so I'm not going to worry too much about Dios, even though it is, to my understanding, very, very good. Having more strong dark / units is definitely nothing to complain about. And with that out of the way, we can actually talk about banners now. So the first up is a kind of interesting style of banner in this that it's unusual for a paid summon. It is a 10 summon where you are guaranteed a featured unit, and if it's a dupe, you get 100 shards, and it's in this pool of all the also Sprock units. I believe the entire pool is just these units, but then the other 9 are going to be just 25 shards. So I don't think it's the most amazing banner. If you've kind of exhausted your options for some of the units that you want, it actually could be all right. If you do not have Narrow in particular, then this might be worth your while if you're like a medium up spender and you want Narrow, just because, you know, even though it's a pretty remote chance, it's better than, you know, it's an option where there's not many in terms of getting Narrow. Or if you're just interested in some of the other limited units, or potentially getting 100 shards of one of them, or if you're in a position where those 25 shards from the other 9 might make the difference of a gate for a unit like Narrow, then it might be worth your while. I think I'm going to do it, not because it's smart, but because, you know, I'm in full-on Templar celebration mode. This is, you know, my favorite thing, so I would like to do it. And anything, I have all of these units right now except for Na Zhu, and I'm aiming to get Na Zhu either by summon or by transmuting, and so that's part of the equation. So I would say it very, very depends on whether this banner is worth it or not. I'd say for most people, probably not. But yeah, let's go on. I would say nobody should do these next 3. All of the limited units, even if they're not available now, are Louise shop available at some point. And then in the bazaar, I saw Dry and Zwei at the very least in the bazaar earlier today. So if you already own them and you want shards, you can get them that way. At the very least, I think I saw Ikasa, and then of course Na Zhu is in the shop as well. And it's just so much more reliable than this. Even with the Templar coins it gives you, if you want the Templar coins, this banner is going to be the one to do. Again, if you do not have Narrow and you want her, I would recommend this. Or if you have any of the Veda units that you would like to get increased shards for, like say Ainz, who only got his 1 a day recently, so you might be trying to cap him out. This is good. But one thing I would like to point out is that Narrow's shards are not available in the coin shop for the Templar coins right now. Neither are Inanna's. So I would keep that in mind. But for the other characters, if you want to get their shards with the coins, and then if getting either the new unit or a duplicate would be good, then I'd say it's pretty good banner. Next up, we have a banner I would only recommend one step for rookies, that especially if they don't have Ziba or Noin, don't really care about Olga. Then we have a 7-step memento banner for Lost Blue, and the global original Lost Blue mementos are in here as well. And if you go all the way to step 7, you will get the duplicate, like enough to max limit break memento. Depends on which one it could be. They are all limited though, so that's kind of nice. So that could be worth your while, especially if you just want all of them, or if there's a bigger chance than not. Actually, no, sorry, I take that back. Zhen's new memento is not limited. But other than that, Na Zhu, because he's not a Lost Blue unit, it's not in there though. So if you want to get Na Zhu's memento, which is also not limited, this is going to be the spot to do it. It's expensive and reliable. That's all I really have to say about that. Then we have I'm guessing this is a rerun, but it's just more Veda mementos. It is a small pool, so if you are missing some of these, is Veers in there? No, Veers is not in there. Okay, I don't totally recommend this unless you really want some of these and don't have them, but I imagine if we get a selector anytime soon, these should all be on there. So I would keep that in mind. So yeah, everything else is going to be old. So yeah, not an amazing selection, but there's a couple interesting things in there, especially if you are a fan of the Templars. So yeah, with that out of the way, let's move on to the summoning portion. Alright, so the game plan today is that I'm going to do 2 steps of this memento banner for Zhen and Na Zhu's memento. I don't have high hopes, but I really, really want Zhen's new one, and I wouldn't mind Na Zhu's. Not enough to 9-step it, but I think it's worth 2 steps. Then after that, we're going to do 5 steps of the special Veda coin one. And then to finish it off, I'm going to, wisely or not, do this grand summon, and we'll see what we get. Hopefully at least something good happens. So yeah, let's get started with the mementos first. So I got 2 discount tickets, so we'll employ them here. Breaking news. Oh, that's sad. Alright, let's give this a roll. Well, at least there was no personal information, like a person's name, so I don't actually have to censor that. Question is, will there be a non-guaranteed red? Yes, there will. But the other question is, will it be good? There's quite a few, or not quite a few, but there's a decent chunk of other normal pool mementos that I would also like to get, one of which is Veers. Ewan's is another one. So not being like a closed small pool, it could actually be a good thing if I'm lucky. Or I could just get, another Vedal memento. Or Zhen's older memento. I don't know if I have that max limit broken though. I might not, so could still be alright. Actually, let's just go ahead and skip the rest because there's no more yellows or reds. Well, it's not ideal, but I forget where I am limit break wise, so I don't believe I have it maxed. Alright, let's move on to step number 2. This will get at least one more. Well, yeah, of course it's going to be red. Silly Ouroboros. I kind of wonder if, Ouroboros proper is ever going to be a unit. Alright, what's our guarantee going to be? A Bolt memento. Well, I actually don't have a max limit break copy of that. Because I have one that's got a couple limit breaks on it. But then I have a few just in case I need multiple Sandstorm Tailwinds. Well, oh well. Looks like there's going to be no new memento there, but that's okay. I am sure I will get it eventually. In the meantime, let's go hunting for some units. Hopefully I get, like, at least something good. Even if it's not Na Zhu. Because if I don't pull him, I can always transmute him. Ooh, not like that, though. That's not going to help anyone. Not a great start. But let's see what else they give us. I would be 100% down for, like, more shards of Nero or Ainz or heck, even Inanna. Of course, you have to pull red for that to happen. Yeesh. Whole lot of yikes so far. This is turning less and less of a celebration and more to the opposite of a celebration. But got 3, 4, and 5 left, so I'll reserve judgment until step 5 is over. Ooh. Alright, we are 30 deep. Still not one red yet. That is a very bad rate. Will you deliver step 4? Nope. Dang. This is just... Ooh. This is pain. Alright, here's the question. Will we go 5 for 5 in terrible pulls? I mean, I hope not. I was hoping to get at least like one good bonus out of this. Well, we did at least get a red, so I can't say it was the absolute worst, but getting a red is only like half the battle. You still have to get something good after that. Okay, it's not a featured. And it's Noah. Alright, well, that was unfortunate. But worry not, I will put those coins to good use, because then I'm going to transmute Na Zhu, and then he should be in the shop once I own him, so that's where a bunch of them will go. The rest will probably go towards Ainz. Oh, man, that is just, I always hate that. When you do like 5 steps and can't even get one featured unit, barely get a 5-star period, let alone a featured unit. Oh well. Alright, and now we will finish off with this Grand Summon. Hopefully it treats us a little bit nicer than the previous ones did. And here we go. Based on my luck today, I'm more inclined to think I'm going to get a non-limited pull for the guarantee here. Oh, nope, I'm wrong. All right, cool. I'll take it. I have her mostly done, but that's definitely helpful though. Question is, will we get any good bonus shards as well? I'm just a little bit relieved. Like, at least not everything was the absolute worst case scenario. So far, not amazing, though. Of course, there is Gate 7 to think about. It's going to be very, very shard hungry. So even the normal pool Templars are going to want as many shards as you can get. We haven't pulled a single limited one, have we? Oh, there's Vi again. And a yellow that's not fooling anyone. Well, that wasn't amazing. But did get an extra 125 Vi shards, so that's kind of nice. I can cap out anything I'm missing for her. she's fun to use. She's not like amazing, but it's got an interesting kit at the very least. So yeah, looks like it's the transmutation path for me after all. Alright, well, hopefully all of you have better luck than I did, which shouldn't be too hard. And I will see you all next time.